student again. So we have studied regarding the atmospheric, tropospheric pollution. So in that, oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen, their effect on the human being and plants and their reactions that we have completed. So it is a need to write these reactions at the time of reading, then you can understand this air pollution, that is the oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen easily. So you can understand if you read carefully. Okay, one more point is remain, that is oxides of carbon. Okay, so you know very well that there are well known two oxides of carbon. What is mean by oxides of carbon? When carbon react with the oxygen, produce the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, that are the oxides of carbon, that already you know very well. Okay, so what is the carbon monoxide, why it is poisonous, how it is poisonous, that we have to study. So this is a colorless and odorless gas. The oxide of carbon, first is carbon monoxide. So this carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless gas, that is the carbon monoxide, right? Okay, it is poisonous to living being because it has the ability to disturb or to block the pure oxygen in the blood. Okay, they block the pure oxygen in the blood. So it is poisonous to living because of its ability to block the delivery of oxygen to the organ and tissue. Okay, so our organ, tissue require the pure oxygen. So if that pure oxygen get blocked due to the presence of the carbon monoxide, then various effect causes to the human being. So here this is the one point. Second point, how it is produced. So it is produced due to the incomplete combustion of carbon. Whenever the many processes taking part in the environment, and if the incomplete combustion of many processes there, that is due to the incomplete combustion of carbon, if the incomplete combustion of carbon takes place, then there must be the formation of carbon monoxide. So this is the one point, how the carbon monoxide is to be released due to the incomplete combustion of carbon. Second point, due to the release of air by automobile exhaust. So this carbon monoxide is made released into the air by automobile exhaust. So these are the two things. First is incomplete combustion of carbon and automobile exhaust. So if the carbon containing material is burned, and if it is incompletely burned, then carbon monoxide is produced. Second thing, carbon monoxide is produced by the automobile exhaust. Okay, and day by day automobile are increases in the world, not only in the India. Okay, in the India also automobile industry is increasing. Everybody have near about 3 vehicles at their home. So 4-wheeler is there, 2-wheeler is for their boys, 1-wheeler is for their what we can say their father. So near about 2 to 3 vehicles are nowadays present in the higher class or the rich class, not in the middle class or poor class. Okay, so therefore due to the automobile exhaust, carbon monoxide is to be released. Okay, one thing is clear, how the carbon monoxide is released. Carbon monoxide is released due to the incomplete combustion of the carbon. Second, due to the automobile exhaust, carbon monoxide is released into the air. So these are the two things. So due to this, what happened, this carbon monoxide is poisonous. Why it is a poisonous gas? Carbon monoxide is a poisonous. Why it is poisonous? It is poisonous because it binds with the hemoglobin to form the carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, so hemoglobin is a protein, you know very well that. So this hemoglobin, that the blood protein, okay, so hemoglobin present in the blood, you know, so this carbon monoxide binds with the hemoglobin, means they react with the hemoglobin and they form the carboxyhemoglobin. So this carbon monoxide react with the hemoglobin, okay, hemoglobin, and they produce the carboxyhemoglobin. Carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, so therefore what will happen due to the formation of this carboxyhemoglobin? So this is the carboxyhemoglobin, and this carboxyhemoglobin is much more stable, 300 times more stable than the oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin is very important to the body. Oxyhemoglobin is important to the body, whereas carboxyhemoglobin is not necessary, no need to the carboxyhemoglobin to the body, no need. Okay, so but if this carbon monoxide we inhaled, it enter into the hemoglobin, it react with the hemoglobin, it produce the carboxyhemoglobin, and that carboxyhemoglobin is a very stable compound, it is 300 times more than that of the oxyhemoglobin. Okay, so this oxyhemoglobin complex and carboxyhemoglobin complex, there are two type of complex. Which complex is necessary for our body? This oxyhemoglobin complex is necessary for our body, whereas which is necessary to for the tissue and the organ of our body. Okay, so therefore this carboxyhemoglobin is much more stable than that of the oxyhemoglobin. Second point, okay, in blood when concentration of carboxyhemoglobin reaches about 3 to 4%, when the percentage of carboxyhemoglobin is 3 to 4 in our body, then what will happen? Capacity of blood is reduced. Capacity of blood is reduced. Okay, so therefore if the blood capacity is reduced, what will happen? So headache, weak eyesight, or this nervousness, cardiovascular disorder may causes. So therefore carboxyhemoglobin is very dangerous to the human being, right? Okay, so hence carboxyhemoglobin is present in our body near about 3 to 4%. Nothing will happen if the carboxyhemoglobin is 1 to 2% in our body. There is no any cause that indicate that we do not inhale the carboxyhemoglobin. Okay, so therefore carboxyhemoglobin if in our body 3 to 5% or 3 to 4%, what will happen? So we cannot see clearly. So hence this weak eyesight, sometime night blindness you can say, then headache, then nervousness or cardiovascular disorder may takes place due to the presence of complex carboxyhemoglobin 3 to 4% in our blood, right? Okay, so therefore this capacity of blood is reduced. So due to the presence of this carboxyhemoglobin, so capacity of the blood is reduced, and capacity of blood in our body is reduced. Nervousness, cardiovascular disorder may takes place, nervousness, weak eyesight, and headache may be takes place. Okay, so this is regarding the carbon monoxide. Okay, what point you have to understood is that how the carbon monoxide is released in the air. One thing, carbon monoxide is produced by the incomplete combustion of the carbon. Second, due to the exhaust of the automobiles. These two things where carbon monoxide is released into the air. Okay, and this carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless gas. Okay, then this carbon monoxide is poisonous. Why it is poisonous? Because carbon monoxide is combined with the hemoglobin in our body, and so there is a formation of carboxyhemoglobin. When we inhale the carbon monoxide from the air, it enter into the blood and it react with the hemoglobin and produce carboxyhemoglobin complex, which is a very stable complex and which is 300 times stable than that of the oxyhemoglobin complex. Oxygen is necessary. When we inhale the oxygen, blood react with hemoglobin, react with the oxygen to form the oxyhemoglobin, which is necessary. Okay, but if the carboxyhemoglobin is produced in our body, carboxyhemoglobin complex is produced in our body, so what will happen due to this? If the carboxyhemoglobin reaches 3 to 4%, then what will happen? The capacity of the blood is reduces, and if the capacity of blood is reduces, so there may be the danger to the body. So nervousness maybe takes place, eyesight effect, so weak eyesight, headache or cardiovascular disorder maybe takes place. So these are the effect of the carbon monoxide. Right. So question may be asked that which of the following complex is necessary for the body, that is oxyhemoglobin or carboxyhemoglobin, which is the more stable. So more stable is the carboxyhemoglobin. So then why this carbon monoxide is poisonous? When it binds to the hemoglobin, then it is poisonous. Okay, what are the effect when the blood is reduced into the body? If the 3 to 4% carboxyhemoglobin is increased in our body, then weak eyesight, nervousness, vascular disorder or headache may be causes. Okay, this is regarding the oxides of carbon first, that is the carbon monoxide. Now second thing is this carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so this is the carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so how it is released? It is released by the respiration system. It is released into the atmosphere by respiration. Okay, and second, burning of fossil fuel by the energy. Okay, so how the carbon dioxide gas is released into the atmosphere? By the respiration. Second is burning of fossil fuel to produce the energy. Burning of fossil fuel, जीवाश्म ईंधन ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो. Okay, when we burn the fossil fuel, which gas is released? Carbon dioxide gas is released. So hence carbon dioxide gas is released by two ways. First is by the respiration system, and then by burning of the fossil fuel by the energy, or by decomposition of limestone. So third point, by decomposition of limestone during the manufacture of cement. So keep in mind, I will write here. So limestone is CaCO3. This is called as the limestone. चुनखडी ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो. चुनखडी. Right. Okay. So when this limestone is see here, third, limestone is decomposed. So decomposition takes place, heat it, there is a formation of calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. हे भेटली तुम्हाला चुनखडी है ना, and this carbon dioxide gas is released. Calcium oxide जे आपण चुना मारतो आपल्या घराला, that is the calcium oxide. So when the decomposition of limestone, what is the limestone? Calcium carbonate, चुनखडी ज्याला आपण म्हणतो. When this limestone is decomposed, there is a formation of calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. So therefore, how the carbon dioxide gas is released into the atmosphere? By three ways. One is respiration, second is the burning of fossil fuels. Okay, burning of fossil fuels for energy, and third is the decomposition of calcium carbonate, that is the decomposition of limestone, which produce the carbon dioxide gas, right, for the manufacture of cement. Okay, when you manufacturing the cement, so third point where it is, so here yes, by decomposition of limestone during the manufacture of cement. Okay, when you manufacture the cement, it is necessary to build up the buildings and for necessary for our houses. So therefore, if you manufacture the cement, this reaction takes place, that is limestone get decomposed to produce the carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so therefore carbon dioxide gas is released into the air. So how it is released into the air? That by three ways we have seen. So now this released carbon dioxide gas is removed, it is confined to troposphere. One thing, is that carbon dioxide gas is confined into the troposphere. That is, what is the troposphere? The height of the from sea level up to 10 kilometer. From sea level 10 kilometer distance is there. In between that region, troposphere is present. So carbon dioxide gas is present in the troposphere. That I want to say. It is confined to troposphere only. Now, as you know that how the carbon dioxide gas is released into the atmosphere. So the released carbon dioxide gas, that is the excess of CO2 in air, is removed by the green plants. Okay, so why green plant require the CO2? Green plant require the CO2 for photosynthesis. Right, okay. So for the photosynthesis process, as you are the biology student, in 10th class also you have studied, in 11th class you have studied, for photosynthesis carbon dioxide gas is very necessary. So therefore, whatever the carbon dioxide gas is released by the different process, that can be removed by using the green plants for the photosynthesis process. So green plants require the carbon dioxide gas for photosynthesis, and they in turn emit the oxygen. The increased amount of CO2 in air is responsible for global warming. Okay, if the much more percentage of CO2 is present in the atmosphere, then that gas is responsible for the global warming. Nowadays that is a very big problem to the world, that is the global warming. Okay, and this global warming is due to the more excessive release of the CO2 gas in the atmosphere that causes the global warming. Okay, so this is regarding the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide gas. So these are the oxides of carbon. Okay, so yes. So up to this point you can very well understand. So do one thing at your home. So you write the introduction, then the this point, that is the environmental chemistry topic, and then you pollution, air pollution, then the stratospheric pollution, tropospheric pollution, the oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of carbon, their release and their causes. Okay, you draw the notes. Okay, so you write all these things with your own hands. Okay, then you can easily understand. By only listening or by only seeing this NCERT book, you cannot understand. You have to write also. Okay, reading, writing, recall. So these are the three things to understand everything. Okay, so now up to this extent we have completed the oxides of carbon, oxygen, oxides of carbon. Okay, so now how the MCQ will be asked according to these concepts, that we will see. See, first MCQ, the layer of atmosphere which extends up to 10 kilometer from sea level is called. Okay, so we have seen the 3 video. According to this 2.5 video, so according to that 2.5 video, we are going to see the 4 MCQs. Right, okay, what is the first MCQ? The layer of atmosphere which extends up to 10 kilometer from sea level, okay, is called as A, troposphere, B, stratosphere, C, ionosphere, and D is the mesosphere. Okay, you know very well. Already I have told you many times in the 2 or 2.5 video that the region from the sea level up to 10 kilometer, from sea level to up to the 10 kilometer, which region is there? That is the troposphere is there. So therefore answer will be troposphere. Right? Okay, very easy question. Now next question. Which one of the following pollutant causes the irritation in eye? Okay, so man cannot be only what you can say, get the tears from the eye by only getting the shadow, not by due to the sorrow or not due to the nervousness, but it is due to the presence of the sulfur dioxide gas in the air, and if it sits in that pollutant air half an hour, then the tears may be coming out from the air, from the eyes. So therefore, what is the question? Which one of the following pollutant causes irritation in the eye? Carbon dioxide gas, sulfur dioxide gas, nitrogen oxide gas, and that is the O3. So which is the gas? Sulfur dioxide gas, right? Because sulfur dioxide gas, that is the low concentration of sulfur dioxide gas is irritate to the eye, and so therefore the water can be released from the eye. So in the Diwali season, you enjoy the season by exploding the different crackles. So that is the bombs, we can say bombs. So therefore, due to that, sulfur dioxide gas is released, and if you stay there half an hour, so irritation maybe takes place. Okay. So third question. Which one of the following is colorless and highly toxic gas which reduces oxygen carrying capacity of blood? Oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. Again, I am going to read the question. Which one of the following is colorless and highly toxic gas which reduces oxygen carrying capacity of the blood? Just now we have seen. What are that? Sulfur dioxide gas, carbon monoxide gas, nitrogen oxide gas, and sulfur trioxide gas, that is the SO3. You know that when the carbon monoxide binds with the hemoglobin, there is a formation of carboxyhemoglobin. So here carbon monoxide combined with the hemoglobin to produce the carboxyhemoglobin. It is a complex which is more stable 300 times than that of the oxyhemoglobin, and if it is present 3 to 4% of the carboxyhemoglobin reaches about 3 to 4%, then the oxygen capacity of the blood is reduced. If the oxygen capacity of the blood is reduced, instead of oxygen, carbon monoxide is there, and that is react with the hemoglobin. So the increased capacity of the oxygen in the blood get decreased. The capacity of the oxygen in the blood is reduced, and due to that there is a what happened? Colorless, that is the second. Which one of the following is colorless and highly toxic gas which reduces the oxygen carrying capacity? Who reduces the oxygen carrying capacity? So this carbon monoxide. Okay, so therefore highly toxic gas reduces the oxygen carrying capacity. Okay, so instead of reacting the oxygen with the hemoglobin, carbon monoxide gas inhaled, and that react with the hemoglobin to produce the carboxyhemoglobin. Right. Okay. So this is very simple question. Last question. Those pollutant which are readily degraded म्हणजे तुकडे होणे त्याचे मराठीमध्ये. Okay, those pollutant which are readily degraded by natural process are called as. Okay, so already in the introduction of this environmental chemistry I told you that there are natural phenomena as well as there are the human being activity phenomena. Due to that this air get polluted. Right. Okay. So what is the question? Those pollutants which are readily degraded by the natural process are called as. Okay. So first answer is non-biodegradable pollutant. B is that is sorry. This is the biodegradable pollutant. Okay. This A is biodegradable pollutant, B is non-biodegradable pollutant, C is air pollutant, and that is the gaseous pollutant. So you know that what is the material that is from the different vegetables we are using the waste material. That waste material we thrown away from our home, and if we thrown away then what will happen? It get decomposed very easily within a very fraction of time, that is within a 1 day or 2 days, 2 to 3 days it require, it get decomposed easily. So therefore such a pollutant are called as biodegradable pollutant. such a pollutant are called as biodegradable pollutant. Whereas you know that if the activity due to the natural process, okay, or activity due to the human processes, these pollutants are produced. Suppose plastics are there, carry bags we are using. So plastic and carry bag, these tons of plastic and carry bag are now collecting contaminated in the atmosphere, and so they could not easily get degraded. Okay, they do not easily get decomposed. Okay, so they require the more time, 5 years, 10 years, up to 10 years also. Okay, they require the 10 years to decompose into the environment. So therefore they are called as the non-biodegradable pollutant. So non-biodegradable pollutant, plastic, and so that is monoplastics, you can say, bags, these are the non-biodegradable pollutant. So what biodegradable pollutant? So that is the vegetable waste. So vegetable waste are the biodegradable pollutant. So they can easily degrade, okay, within a 2 to 3 days, or at least 8 days is required. So therefore that are called as the biodegradable pollutant. Okay, so such type of question may be asked in the exam. So keep in mind, in JEE main exam or NEET exam, one question will be there. Okay, more than sometime more than one question. Okay, up to this extent there are 2 questions were asked on the environmental chemistry topic. Okay, in the NEET 2 questions were asked up to this level, sometime 1 question. Okay, in JEE main exam 1 question will be asked on the environmental chemistry. Okay, so therefore you can understand easily such a questions. Okay, so now again one more question is asked, that is which of the following gas is released, which of the following gas is released in the atmosphere and that can be used by the photosynthesis process. So what are that? So questions is like this. So which are that gases? So first is the N2A, B is the O2, C is the CO2 and D is the NO2. Okay, what is the question? Which of the following gas? So this is the nitrogen oxide gas, keep in mind. So this is the NO2 gas. So which of the following gas is released in the air due to the burning of the fossil fuels and that can be used by the plants for photosynthesis process? So what is the gas? N2, O2, CO2 or NO2? That is the CO2. So such type of question will be asked. Right, okay, so you should be very conscious regarding this topic, because this is a very important topic and very simple questions are produced. Okay, so now next question maybe arises like this, which of the following gases? Question is like this. Suppose I have sulfur dioxide gas, A, B sulfur trioxide gas, C nitrogen dioxide gas and D that is the carbon monoxide gas. Okay, so which of the following gas is released? Which of the following gas is released by the automobile exhaust? Which of the following gas is released by the automobile exhaust? Okay, so this is the SO3, right? A is SO2, B is SO3, C is nitrogen oxide and D is carbon monoxide. Which gas is released by the exhaust of automobile? Carbon monoxide gas, right? Okay, so this is a very simple questions. So such type of questions you can solve on this environment topic also. Okay, so next question, suppose question is asked like this, this smog is present in following region. Okay, smog is present in following region. So that is the stratosphere, then B is troposphere, C is mesosphere and D is ionosphere. Okay, ionosphere. Okay, these are the 4 sphere. Okay, so smog is a mixture of what? Mixture of fumes. isn't it? That is the mixture of fumes, okay, smoke and fumes, they combine to form the smog. So therefore smog is present in the following region. So where, so lower region is the troposphere, isn't it? That is the oxygen is present. Okay, so therefore stratosphere, troposphere. Troposphere from sea level up to 10 kilometer. After 10 kilometer to 15 kilometer, in between 10 kilometer to 15 kilometer, stratosphere is there. So therefore smog is present in which region? That is in the troposphere. Okay, so such a simple question you have to solve in the this environmental chemistry topic. Okay, so after this we have to study what is mean by global warming, what is mean by acid rain, what are the effects of global warming, what are the effects of acid rain. So these 2 points we will see in the next video. Thank you.